time my ex and his friend, who we'll call Mackenzie, were super bored, and we lived in like the middle of nowhere, so whenever you got bored, all you really did was like get in your car and drive around in the country. Mackenzie had an aunt and uncle that lived in this house, like kind of in the woods, and it was said that the house was haunted. We decided that we were gonna drive to his aunt and uncle's house just to check it out, but like nobody was home when we got there, so we couldn't get in. We walked around the property for a while and took some pictures with Mackenzie's digital camera to see if we could like catch anything on film. It started to get dark. We still didn't have anywhere else to be, so we decided that we were going to drive to a local cemetery where the grave of a witch is. There's all this lore where we live. This woman who was allegedly a witch, and on Halloween, people would like always go to her grave. And sometimes people would just go in the middle of the night for something spooky to do. I had never been there, but I knew people who had been there, and Mackenzie had been there before, so he knew where it was. So we're driving there on this country road, and at this point, it's completely dark outside, and there are no street lights. There's no lights. The only light that we have is the moon and the stars. We drive out into the middle of nowhere, and Mackenzie shows me where the turnoff is, and I pull onto this dirt road, and there's a gate that you have to go through to get into the cemetery, and at this point the gate is closed and locked because it's dark. If you're picturing like a regular cemetery gate, like the wrought iron ones with the spikes on the top, this is not that kind of cemetery gate. This is a middle of nowhere Pennsylvania hauler cemetery, so the gate is like a cattle gate, which is a metal rectangle that has bars going across it. Mackenzie says it's no big deal. He's been there before. You just have to hop the gate, and because the bars are like this far apart, it's basically like a ladder. I pull my car up maybe like 10 feet from the gate and park it. When we're coming up near the gate, I think that I see something on the ground in front of the gate, but we don't have any flashlights, right? No flashlights, because we planned this spur of the moment. We have the moon and the stars, but that is not very bright because it's Pennsylvania, so there is always like 75% cloud coverage even at night. But we did have my BlackBerry, which, if you're not familiar, there's no flashlight app on a BlackBerry. It's basically a computer that somebody shrunk down to the size you can put in your pocket, make phone calls, and text people on. Using the screen of my BlackBerry, like just the light from the screen, which is equivalent to like the light of a Nintendo DS. And I shine it down by the ground, and I see a deer skull with flowers around it and candles. And the wax in the candles was still liquid, so like at some point recently they had been lit. I'm done. I've seen enough horror movies. I don't need to be out here. I run back to the car. Mackenzie are like, aren't you coming with us? Like, we're still going. I'm sorry, going where? You want me to come with you into the murder cemetery in the middle of the night with a shrine outside the gate? No, thank you. I'm not trying to fight for my life to be the end girl just because I got bored one night. Mackenzie hopped the fence. I'm in my car. I have the headlights on for them for like as far as that will reach. Then I'm just sitting there in the car because there's nothing I can do. I have a BlackBerry, which you can literally do nothing on, and I'm in the middle of nowhere, so I can't even call anybody. I'm just sitting in my car in the dark with my headlights shining on this shrine, just wondering if they're going to come back or not. They were gone for what felt like forever, and I'm doing that thing in my mind where I'm like, do I go get help? Do I go find somebody? Do I get out and go look for them? I'm not doing that, but you know, like, I thought that for a second. And eventually they come running back and they hop the fence and they get in the car, and they never even found the grave. It was so dark and they had no flashlights. They were just walking blindly around a cemetery in the middle of the night trying to find this witch's grave. Anyway, I never went back, but I've kind of always wanted to, but like during the daytime. So if you know me in real life, if you live locally to me and you want to go sometime, let me know.